welcome to today's Big Brother Canada updates and spoilers. Our house guest of the day is Alexander Paul Harless, and he wants to know, who do I think at this moment has the best chance of winning and why? That's a great question. Honestly, at this moment in time, I would say Cass. I think has a great chance of winning. She, I think, really handled her HOH week really well so far. I think she's making a big move this week, which we'll get to. And I think she could really make a case for herself in the final too. Also, I think that Tim would have a good shot at winning if he makes it. The thing with Tim, though, a lot of them don't want to see a non-Canadian win, so I think that would really work against him. But I think he's played a masterful game too, so I think the two of them have the best chance right now. Thank you for your question. And if you guys want to be house guests of the day, make sure you check out our Patreon link in the info box below. All right, so yesterday they had the Power Veto competition. Everyone was playing except for Tim. Excuse me. But Tim was not the host because the host was Season 3 winner, Sarah Hanlon. Woo! All right, so she was back for some fun. And it was fun because this was the how bad do you want it power of veto. So there were punishments, rewards. Let's break it all down. So first of all, the veto winners, the brothers. So Phil pulled out the win, but they got a lot of punishments to go along with it. So even though it was just Phil competing, Phil and Nick both had to get haircuts from Sarah, and they were really bad. Sarah really, she did good. Meaning she did really bad. It was like, Nick's is, I think, probably worse, because this whole part is shaved, but then he still has hair on the sides, so it's kind of like a George Costanza thing. And then Phil's is just all over the place, messed up, and it's hilarious, but I'm not sure how long it has to stay like that and then when they can fix it, but it's really funny for right now. Also, Phil has to wear a skunk suit. I don't know how long for. It seems like Nick does not have to wear it too, but that's funny. And then they cannot play in the next Power Veto competition. That's a big deal. And this next one is going to be during the double eviction, so they are going to be very vulnerable if they do not win the HOH. And everybody knows that they can't play, so it's like, whoa. All right, next up, Cass. She got a punishment and a reward. First, her punishment. So you know the jackpot sign that's and it used to go off every day and then it didn't go off for a while? Well, it's back. And every time it goes off, all of these poker chips fall from the sky and she has to clean them up. That sucks. And then her reward, she won a mentoring session with Sarah. We'll come back to that. Okay, Joel. Joel has it really rough right now and I feel bad for him. He is on slop for the rest of the game. That sucks. Also, I'm a little bit confused about his second punishment. I saw a few different things. It looks like he may have had to have given up most of his clothing, but then I saw on another website that maybe it's a week of no shower or laundry. Either way, it sucks. But I guess he'll eventually be able to borrow things from other people if he doesn't get his own stuff back. I don't know. But that sucks because he got a lot of punishments and no veto. Jared had to bathe with eels. Kelsey, pretty sure nothing. No punishment, no reward. She was holding out for a big trip. Didn't happen. Nikki, I haven't heard any punishments or rewards either, but who knows? I don't know. All right, so Cass and Tim were chatting in the HOH after the competition, and Cass is pissed that Jared and Kelsey didn't try harder in the competition. She told them many times, I need you guys to win that power of veto so that we can keep the nominations the same and get rid of the brothers. They did not try, and it was very obvious to everyone. So she was pissed at both of them, but she was mostly angry at Jared because she was like, you know what, Kelsey, not that smart, not the brightest person, so maybe she didn't understand the strategy behind this competition of when to bet and when to whatever. But Jared, she was like, I expected more out of him. This is bullshit. So Tim is like, yeah, Jared was just shaking his poker chips to make it sound like he was betting, but he was not. So he didn't bet on anything after the eel bath, apparently. So then she was talking about how she feels bad that Joel took all those punishments and he didn't win. He may not have won the veto, but I think he really won the trust of the other two members of the Freak Show, Cass and Tim. They were like, wow, he did all of that, you know, to try and win the veto. So they feel like they can absolutely trust him now. Tim also brings up how last week he could have been going home if Joel and Cass decided to flip their votes, but they didn't, so he feels really good about their alliance right now. The Freak Show is looking stronger than ever. So then they were talking about who the replacement nominee is going to be, because, of course, Phil and Nick are going to use the veto on themselves. So Cass is like, well, I could put up someone like Kelsey and just get rid of Nikki, or I could put up Jared and he becomes the new target against Nikki. So she's like, well, if we get rid of Nikki this week, Kelsey and Jared are not going to be, like, grateful about it and, like, work with them. They're going to go ahead and work with the brothers anyway. So they will be losing Jared and Kelsey anyway, and they're going to be losing a vote for them in Nikki. So then Cass is like, yeah, I guess I should put up Jared. But then she's a little bit worried about Kelsey retaliating if she gets rid of Jared. We've seen how Kelsey is in competitions. But Tim is like, even if she does win, we have the numbers. It's going to be fine. And think about how sweet it's going to be if you make it to that final two and you can say to that jury, I got rid of Jared. That is a big deal. But it's kind of annoying because everybody's always saying that, like, Jared could win this game and, like, he should win this game. What has he done that should mean that means he should win this game? Because I haven't seen him do much. It's like a lot of smoke and mirrors, I feel like, where Jared is concerned, but whatever. All right, so then, I mean, he has to go, but I think it's annoying that everyone's like, oh, Jared should win this game. He would win if he made it to the end. So then Cass was telling Tim about her chat with Sarah, and Sarah was basically like, keep doing what you're doing. Stick with your group of 3. It's a solid group. Follow your instincts. I feel like maybe she shouldn't have said that. That's, like, really, really specific. But she was telling her, follow your instincts, beware the showmance. So Cass is feeling really good about her alliance right now with Tim and Joel. And then they were talking about what's going to happen next week. Cass is convinced that it's going to be a double eviction. Yup. And she brings up, if the brothers do not win HOH, they're pretty much screwed because they can't play in the veto. So she's like, we need to win that HOH and get rid of them. Woo! Alright, so then Jared, Kelsey, and the brothers were all chatting in the backyard. They are just so proud of themselves for how the power veto competition went down. Jared's like, yeah, I, like, threw that to you guys. He was, like, laughing about how he was shaking his chips so it would sound like he was betting. And the brothers were like, oh, you did that? That's hilarious. Oh, my God. So they think it's great. The brothers are going to come off the block. And they're like, yeah, I think we'll be good. We'll be good. You idiots! You're in danger now! Jared and Kelsey, are you stupid? So they feel like even if one of them goes up, they'll be able to convince Joel to vote out Nikki. They are very, very confident that they will be able to get Joel's vote. Yes, because Joel just took all those punishments while you guys did basically nothing. But, okay, so anyway, they're still not giving up on having somebody else go up on the block either. So they're like, well, we could try to get Joel up as the replacement. They're pretty much giving up on Tim going up. They're like, Cass is not really budging on that, but maybe we can get Joel up. But they are very confident at this point that they're going to be around next week. And I think they're delusional. But here's their plan of attack to get Joel's vote. Tell him that Nikki hates him. Tell him that Tim makes fun of him all the time. And hang out with him so that he thinks that they're friends. That is so sad and messed up. And I think Joel's going to see through that. But anyway, Cass last night, because of her punishment with the, what's it called? The jackpot sign. She had to get up a lot throughout the night, a bunch of times. She had to clean up those chips, and it continued on throughout today. I'm not sure how long this punishment is lasting, if it's like 24 hours or 48 or what. I would assume it's 24, but we'll find out. So this morning, Cass and Kelsey were chatting up in the HOH room, and Kelsey is still trying to act like she would take Cass to the final 2 over Jared. So Cass is finally like, I'm not dumb. I know that you guys would not pick me for the final 2 over each other, and I'm not playing for 3rd place. Oh, snap. So then Kelsey's like, well, what are you're going to put up Jared? Is that what you're going to do? Like, why would you get rid of someone who's playing for us? How can you say he's playing for you? He was fine with you getting evicted the first time. Did you forget that that happened? No, what? Okay, so then Jared comes in and he has to talk to Cass alone, and Cass was so pissed at him. She was like, you guys didn't even freaking try to win that veto. What the F is up with that? So Jared tries to like explain himself and rationalize his strategy through the competition. It was BS, but he was like, yeah, I was saving my chips, and then like the last thing was to shave your head, and like I went into this saying like I wasn't gonna shave my head, like I'm not gonna do it. So yeah, Cass was just like, whatever, you guys suck. So then Jared is campaigning not to go up on the block. He's like, I've had your back since day one. Like, who else can say that? And then he was like, well, if you do put me up on the block and it's a tie, will you at least keep me? Will you break the tie to keep me? And she's just like, against Nikki? Yeah. No. All right. So then Cass brings up how Kelsey was like, oh yeah, I'd bring you to the final two over Jared. And Jared was like, yeah, I'm not going to take you to the end over Kelsey, so I'm not even going to lie about that. Alright, so then Jared was pushing for Joel to go up on the block. He's like, Joel's got to deal with everyone. And he was like, Joel doesn't even have to go home. Nikki hates you. She should go home. So he's trying to get everything onto Joel and Nikki. I don't think it's going to work. But then Kelsey was up in the HOH with Cass again. And Cass is like, guess what? Jared just confirmed to me that he would take you to the final two and not me. So everything you're saying is BS. So then Kelsey's like, well, Jared is the strongest physical and mental competitor in the house, and he's on our side. Why would we get rid of someone who's never going to put us up? And then she's trying to say, like, Jared is our shield, and once he's gone, like, people are going to nominate us together because we're so close. I don't think that's how it is, but if you say so. So then Kelsey and Jared were out in the backyard. They start arguing because Kelsey's like, so you told Cass that you were going to take me to the final two and not her? Like, why would you do that? So she's like, lie if you need to. Fight for your life. So Jared's like, yeah, it's not going to work if, like, I tell the truth about that stuff and you're lying. Okay, so then they're both just like, I'm over it. And Kelsey's like, well, I'm over it if you're over it. All right, they're not over it, of course. But this afternoon, Cass and Phil were chatting in the HOH room, and Cass is trying to smooth things over now with the brothers because she sees that they're staying this week, of course. They won the power of veto. So she's like, I'm sorry for putting you up. I always trusted you guys. I should have just put up Jared in the first place. And Phil's like, oh, it's okay. It's really hard to be HOH. Like, it was a game move. Okay, so then Cass is telling him, I'm pretty sure, like, I just want to reiterate, like, Phil is just like, no, I don't like you. I mean, he's saying, like, it's okay, but it's not okay with Phil. Come on. So then Cassandra tells Phil she's planning on putting Jared up on the block. And we know that Phil and Jared are supposedly, like, working together, but Phil's just like, well, I don't want to get involved. Do what you gotta do. It's not me. I don't care. So it's just the same pattern that we've been seeing with the brothers. They don't want to put any information out there, and they're not gonna go to bat for Jared and Kelsey like that. They might still try to get the votes to get rid of Nikki over Jared, but they're not gonna, you know, put themselves out there and try and get, like, Joel up on the block. So Nikki, she was a little bit upset today because the block is getting to her. She's really feeling the cold shoulder from everybody else because, you know, once you get up on the block, people stop talking to you. So she's venting to Tim, and she's like, I walk into a room and people stop talking. So Tim reassures her, like, it's all good. Joel, Cass, and I are all going to keep you this week. Don't worry. All right, so then the feeds went down for a while, and just like a little while ago, Big Brother tweeted that they're going to be off for the rest of the night. What? What is that all about? I am going to be so livid if there is some sort of task or, like, secret veto that is going to be ending up in Jared's hands, because power veto ceremony should be tomorrow morning, And it looks like Cass is going to put up Jared. But if something happens to prevent that, I'm going to be so annoyed. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. And until tomorrow, much love.